Welcome back to the MWOD. We are going to talk today about the very exciting USAW CrossFit bastard child, freaky scientist baby thing. And one of the things that's remarkable about this is we have 2,000 CrossFits around the planet, ultimately kind of working as a feeder system to create super athletes. Maybe we can choose the next 6 or 7-year-old, but it's got me thinking about Olympic lifting. And one of the things that we're doing today, we're seeing a lot of people, is having to receive from a really, really deep bottom position without just being overextended. And as that hip starts to run into the femur, one of the things that happens is that psoas works hard to close that distance, because otherwise I'll fall over backwards. So the distance I start to receive, bam, the knee starts to come in, or I start to close that distance, it potentially overextends me. So to work on that position, some homework today is to go ahead and wind up against the wall. And we're going to go ahead and go butt to the wall. And what's going to happen is that I'm going to go ahead and wind myself up and press my low back. So my low back is flat. And if you can imagine me actually receiving, my best snatch in this position, that would be so sick. Vertical shins and maximum efficiency, knees out over ankles. What happens, I can use this position to really shove my knees out and hit a different piece of the scrotal groin region that I normally wouldn't have access to. So I'm just going to apply knee out, and I'm just going to do a big groin stretch, but as it actually relates to an actual movement, in this case, receiving position. What's nice is that I've taken my low back out of the equation because it's totally supported, and I don't even have to worry about overextending or screwing my back if I do this. So just hit that thing, release, and maybe you're working on distal pectineus and this lateral attachment abductor breath. It doesn't matter. What we're doing is we're stretching all the regions in this deep position. And what you'll test and retest is just getting into a squat, and then just walk your feet down every so often, keep pushing out, and if this would be the idealized receiving position, and if I could do this, I would be the best Olympic lifter in the world. So take a look at this. Let's go like 3 or 4 minutes digging around with this. But then, since that's a tricky position to be in, and that psoas tends to come forward, let's throw that psoas stretch back in here, where I'm going to reach behind, belly is tight, wind that psoas up, fulcruming off of the pull. It's really going to catch that distal psoas kind of at the attachment. The key is to be able to use the whole torso as piece and lever off that thing, and then I can go hunting for my business. My business is really bad right there. Over here it's not so bad, but I swing around and it really starts to get ugly. And you'll notice that's one of those positions that I need to jerk in so I can really kind of hit that small piece, which is going to allow me to end up in a much better position. Last idea, get a couple minutes there. So we need to come back to those calves because we're working on making sure we're open enough and got that flex position. Wind that foot up on the wall, belly tight, hips straight, practice being in a good position, and let's bring that whole thing up, and then hit those corners, and then after a while, let's go ahead and hit the knee in. If you feel pinchy there, don't worry about it. You want to just hit as much as we can here in the first place, 2 minutes each side there. Starting to get ready for USAW. I want to start making my changes here on this Wednesday, rolling into the weekend. Good luck, we'll see you tomorrow.